Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in to part 5 of our tutorial series on how to play the King of the Hill game mode. In this video we will try to figure out how to make our non-dash hangar work on Dead City map. So before we go over the details on how to play on this specific map, let's quickly recall how to play King of the Hill in general. What are the goals? What are the rules? Okay, your first priority should always be fill up your team's beacon bar. To do that, be at the active beacon as long as possible. And do your best to not let red catch center. Attach weapons to your robots that have high area of effect or splash, like Talumbus, pins, orkans, pinatas. And then purposefully use and sacrifice your bots to maximize time spent at each active beacon. The center beacon on this map is marked with the letter E. It will be a little bit tricky to reach for you because you spawn behind those high arcs that are roughly the same horizontal plane as B and D. So don't be surprised if your dashing teammates or the red team is in center way earlier than. No problem though, because we can position ourselves nicely along the wall where the arrow is. As always, I've chosen a video that shows you a lot of good teamwork, but also some mistakes that you may avoid after watching this. First tip, try not to make a Fujin with Hydras your first choice of bot, and if you have to, make sure you're useful by helping your team catching beacons. As mentioned in the introduction, don't be surprised if your dashing teammates or the red team arrives in center first. But don't worry, just make sure that you now arrive at the next active beacon you can be, which will be the one that I'm walking towards now, as you will see in a second. There you go. Now keep in mind, even though the Griffin has the jump ability and covers about 100 meters per jump, after that it has a cooldown of 20 to 25 seconds. And the maxed out walking speed that you get from level 9 onwards is only 35 kilometers per hour. So overall the Griffin is a very slow bot. So not ideal on long range maps, but very useful on short range maps, as you can see now. After losing his Kumiho, our Chinese friend now came back with a Hydra-equipped Fujin. And while this might be a good and very annoying choice in Team Deathmatch, it isn't in King of the Hill, especially if you remain stationary. Easy to see what I mean. There is an active beacon and he is the closest one to it, but not moving towards it. So his team right now is losing out points. Please try not to be the one losing points for your team. Now my blue team buddy and me are walking all the way over there and actually catch that beacon and get those points. Take a look at what happens. The Fujin is still stationary, and by shooting all those Hydras at me, killing me off, he's actually helping me, because I can now jump into a new bot and be at the next active beacon on our side, right on time. So after having a pretty good opener, red team has now lost points and blue team could catch up in beacon. So when you play King of the Hill, please make sure to always be at the active beacon for as long as possible and to help your team fill up the beacon bar and to keep red from reaching that beacon. For the ones that were paying attention, yes, I do know that the Balgazari is a dashbot, and we technically said that this video would be one without dashbots, but look at their health. This is only a level 6 robot, so I kind of thought it's okay to put it in there. Sorry if that bothered you. Back to our game. Due to a lag in teamwork, Red has now allowed us to also catch the beacon on the other side of their spawn point. So we are catching up even more. Looking good so far. Let's see if we can still win this game. And while this pattern Noricum is probably a good idea to splash whenever Red is at an active beacon, he must make sure to move to the next active beacon. Being stationary does not help your team. Please don't be the one being as far away from the active beacon as possible. Especially if that beacon is right in front of you. There's no way he's not seeing that the beacon is active right now. Keep your fingers crossed. If we reach and turn and keep that beacon, we win the game. Oops, death button coming. Maybe we need to take the next beacon. We won't win that encounter. I stayed here anyway, trying to do a little bit of damage to him, but also keeping him from reaching this beacon and getting less points. Once he kills this robot, I can jump into a new one and then reach my own beacon on time. So this game, Blue has won clearly not due to overpowered robots, but due to lack of teamwork on Red's side. Which brings us to the end of this video. Let's quickly summarize and recap the goals for any King of the Hill game. Your priority number 1 must be time at the active beacon to fill your beacon bar and to collect beacon points. Priority number 2 then is damage done, to keep Red from filling their own bar. If you found this video useful, give it a like and comment below, subscribe and hit that little bell to be notified when new content comes out. Thanks for watching, see you in the next tutorial, bye bye.